This new Warframe is absolutely stupid strong, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to get him, a rundown of his abilities, and how you can be outputting stupid damage just like this. You like that little edit? Yeah, I know you liked it. You know, I put some effort into that. It's my first ever edit on this video, or on YouTube, or whatever. Doesn't matter. So for how to get Nokko. So basically, you want to go to Venus, then you go to Fortuna, and then once you finish loading in, there should be a vent over here on the left. And once you go into that, you know, you press your little interact button or whatever. Then you should see a little mushroom dude, or another mushroom dude that's not Nokko, and he has browse wares, browse nursery, field guide, and bounties. So browse nursery is just decorations, so it's not really anything pertaining to acquiring Nokko himself, but that's pretty cool. Then we have these three, which are the most important if you're trying to get him. So bounties, that's the easiest way to get him for the most part. You go into the bounty, there's a certain drop chance. I'll probably put it on screen now for each part. But yeah, each bounty gives a different part. I'm pretty sure all of them give Nokko's blueprint. So that's cool. They also drop the Arbusep or whatever you call it. The parts for that, as well as primary arcane adapters for arc guns. Or I don't even think there's any primary. There's just arcane adapters, whatever. It also drops arcanes and some other stuff. And then you have this Fergalite thing. And with the Fergalites, you actually use them to buy things in his little shop, his little syndicate shop. And yeah, you can buy mushrooms, all that, Kuva, this sculpture thingy, arcanes, and all this stuff. Now, how do you get the higher ranks? You will get mushrooms from the bounties. You can pick them up around the map, as well as you can gain them as a reward if you complete the bonus for the bounty stage. So yeah, then you use those to level up his little field guide here, and that's how you get to the higher ranks. Yeah, so you analyze the fungi or mushrooms or plant or whatever the hell you want to consider them, and then once you do that, then it'll contribute to the total analyzed at the top left of the screen. And then I'm quite sure that yes, right here it shows how many mushrooms you need for each rank. And yeah, that's pretty much how you upgrade his little standing shop. I don't know what you would consider it, because it's not the same as other NPCs shops where you actually collect standing and then you level up. It's actually pretty unique. You just get mushrooms and then you analyze them, and they contribute to your level, and then you can, you know, level up and everything. So yeah, that is how you get Nokko. And I think you also need the mushrooms for the Arbusep parts. Yes, you do need mushrooms for the Arbusep parts. I'll be doing a video on that later. So yeah, that's cool. Now it's going to be on to his ability overview. Now it's time for us to review his abilities. And first, his first ability is called Stink Brain. It basically makes enemies go sleepy, and then every time it pulses, it applies viral status effects to them. So yeah, that's cool. It's easy headshots if you're like using them to, I don't know, using Nokko with an incarnate or something. But it also makes you jump high, so that's awesome. And yeah, that's cool. And then we have his second ability, which is Bright Bonnet. And basically, I didn't even know that it actually damaged whenever you threw it down on the ground. But yeah, it does that. I don't even think that's going to be useful or anything. But yeah, whenever you jump on it, you get a little bit of energy. Like, my energy refills every time I bounce on Bright Bonnet. So you bounce on this thing, you get energy. And you also get ability strength, as you can see right here, increased ability strength. So yeah, that's what Bright Bonnet does. Gives you free energy for your other abilities. And then we have the best ability, in my opinion. We don't even worry about the fourth, because this is where it's at. Wait, hold up, give me a second. And now behold, mushroom cheeks. Yes, it is here. Everyone was talking about it. The mushroom is caked up. But yeah, this is called Reroot. It is his third ability, and you turn into a little mushroom that has a little bit of cake on him. You know, a little bit of cake on him, and you run around as this little mushroom dude, and you heal, and you're invincible as him, and you can move faster as well. You know, it's pretty cool, pretty unique for Warframe. And yeah, something about this that's interesting, rather, is that whenever you're in this little state, you're actually considered invisible. Like, the game counts you as being invisible. So all invisibility, like arcane abilities and stuff like that, they would apply to you while you're in this little sprawling form that is called Root. So yeah, god damn, this damn mushroom is caked the fuck up. Like, Jesus Christ, why you gotta do, bro? DE, what the heck? And yeah, so now on to his fourth ability, which is called Spore Spring. And what Spore Spring does is this: you throw a little ball, and then it bounces to enemies, dealing toxin damage. And every time it hits an enemy, it increases the critical chance. So initially it's like 25% critical chance, and then it goes up to 50, or I don't even know. I know the critical chance just increases per bounce. So, and it scales with your ability strength. So initially it's pretty low, and then it increases every bounce. But I think with a bunch of ability strength, the max you can get is like 25% per bounce. So starts off at 25%, bounce to another enemy, you get 50%, bounce to another enemy, 75, another 100, and then so on and so forth. And yeah, it's like a freaking tiny hollow purple that explodes. Like, it's not as bright as a hollow purple, but you get what I mean. It literally looks like a bouncing hollow purple, and it's freaking broken. Like, look at this. It's not even modded. This is completely unmodded, and it's doing pretty decent damage to these steel pass enemies. Like, look at this. I know, bro, that's broken. So yeah, that's his ability overview. Another thing, his passive is actually pretty cool and broken. Whenever he dies, let me just die really quickly. Whenever he dies and you have one of the and it did not work, so that was a little bit embarrassing, but whatever. Whenever he dies, please die, Nokko. Why are you still invincible? Yeah, whenever you die, you can go up to a mushroom and then you can revive. And it doesn't use one of your your traditional revives where you hold down your button to revive. You can actually revive infinitely with this. So as long as you have a mushroom thingy around, I did not mean to do that. As long as you have a mushroom thingy around, then you will be able to infinitely revive and you won't have to worry about dying. So if you somehow die on Nokko, you're actually a freaking loser. So yeah, that's cool. That's pretty much the rundown of all his abilities. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, whenever the final ability hits one of these things, it actually increases the pulse rate. So it applies viral status way faster than if you would just normally throw it down without throwing your fourth ability on top of it. So yeah, that's how it works. Just an extra little thing. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And now it's actually to the nasty, beautiful build. Please don't die, Nokko. Okay, thank you. I know I was asking you to die before, but now I prefer if you don't. So yeah, now to the nasty, awesome freaking setup that I have. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so with most people use Roar in Zaku's Can You Not Load the Latron freaking mod config. They use Roar in his little thingy, which yes, it helps because you get the big damage from Roar's damage buff, obviously. You can achieve really big numbers, you know, big boy numbers. You know, that's what people like to see, high numbers. And then you can like do that. You can do that, but that takes way too long. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not waiting for this freaking mushroom to bounce to every enemy just to kill him. You might be like, bro, that's pretty quick. Why are you complaining? I'm impatient. I want everything to die pretty freaking quickly. So yeah, that's not gonna work. We don't like roar. I don't like roar. So instead, the build that we're gonna use is this one. Knock them down, Nokko. And instead of roar, we use core horizon, which is basically a crowd control ability that pulls all enemies into one central spot on the coil horizon thingy. You know what I mean? So let me just show you what it does really quickly. So you throw it out, it's this little ball thingy, and it explodes after a short duration, pulling all enemies in. Deals electricity damage and continuous damage, all that stuff. And yeah, you can reactivate the ability right after you throw it out and then do something like this. I guess you cannot do something like this. That has happened multiple times where the game just bugged. I guess you can't do that because the freaking spore thing does not activate. But let's try this again. Bam, bam. You actually have to throw your first ability down inside that group. And look at how quickly everything dies. That's way faster than before. And I love it. I love how fast that is. S tier. So we're going to look at the build really quickly. So yeah, this build is centered around ability strength, ability range, a lot of range, and critical damage, which you get from just two sources. So yeah, we have corrosive projection, cunning drift, all these strength and range mods. You can see them here. We also have flow for energy because you need like a lot of energy capacity in order to run this. We also have Archon continuity, which is a main factor that you do need in order to deal the big damage and kill steel path enemies really quickly, because it applies corrosive every time an ability inflicts toxin. So every time the spore spring hits an enemy and inflicts toxin, it also inflicts corrosive to the enemies around it. So yeah, that reduces armor, deals big damage. Pretty freaking sick. So yeah, we have Molt Augmented, which obviously increases ability strength for every kill that you get, as you can see. And then we have Arcane Crepusculaba. Yeah, I said that right. Crepusculaba. I did not say that right, but we're not going to talk about it. And when you're invisible, you gain 30% ability strength and 3 times final critical damage. You know what that means? That means big boy numbers. And yes, big boy numbers. And then we also have your companion. You can use this Kubro, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't know how to pronounce Kubro still. I think it's just Kubro. I think I'm pronouncing it right. But the Harass Kubro, you can use that, or you can use Shade, Prisma Shade, whatever the hell you want to use. And you want to have 2 mods on them. These are the most important. You want to have their invisibility mod that turns you and them invisible. And you want to have Tenacious Bond. What Tenacious Bond does is that if your companion's, weapon thingy, look at this, his weapon or whatever, his critical chance is above 50%, you automatically get 1.2 times final critical damage multiplier. Rather, I am stumbling over my words, but I do not care. This is staying in the video. So yeah, those are pretty much all you need. On the Shade, it's the same thing. You have Tenacious Bond right here, and then you mod the Shade's weapon for critical chance, so that you can get that Tenacious Bond, added effect. And yes, you're invisible. You get your extra critical damage from the Shade or Harass applying invisible with the Arcane Crepusculaba. Yes, 3 times for the final critical damage. And then you deal big boy numbers. Now, in order to make this even better, guess what? We have to use Archon shards. And I got really lucky while I was like recording this video, and I actually got like 2-3 Tau Forged red Archon shards in a row. And yeah, this is the setup you have. I believe some people do put green Archon shards on there, but I'm actually not good enough to be to that point. Even though I should be there right now, I just don't level up syndicates that much. I mostly just do survivals and grind plat. I'm sitting on 59 right now. Poor as shit. But yeah. We have 1 yellow shard and 4 red shards. Your shards don't have to be Tau Forged, obviously, but this helps. You get casting speed, which always helps. Ability strength, which is what we're freaking achieving for. Like, look at that, 250% ability strength. Now, you can also replace your red shards for green shards if you have them available. I do not, because I am poor. But we do not judge, we listen. So yeah, that's the basic rundown of the build. Hopefully you understood my gibberish. Hopefully us, the boys understand it. If you don't, I am sorry, but I feel like I spoke pretty clearly enough for most people to understand. But yeah, look at this. 1 Coil Horizon. Throw that Spore Spring in there. Holy shit. That is awesome. Okay, now that's pretty much it. I'm going to put some gameplay in the background right about now, so you can see how it works in survival. The survival I did, I was destroying fucking acolytes left and right, destroying all the fucking enemies, murmurs. Sadly, I did not go to level cap because I didn't feel like doing all that. But trust me, it does work at level cap. Take my word for it. Trust me, I am not going to lie to you. I'm going to be one of those YouTubers that give you the straight up facts for everything. It works at level cap. Trust. So yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. This is my first ever long form video with commentary. So I would appreciate if you liked, subscribed, commented. Even if you want to say the video is shit, comment. It helps. Shit, if you're a hater, you're helping me. Don't care. So yeah. Thank you for everyone who watched. Thank you for all of my friends who have supported me throughout me making this video. And I will see you guys in the next one, which will be pretty fun. Pretty freaking fun. Peace. Bye. Whatever. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.